Hello, my name is Anthony Keller.
And I'm that Deacon on YouTube.
I'm speaking to you today from Descanso Gardens here in La Cañada, California, the same city which St. George's Church resides and has been serving the community for over 50 years. Descanso Gardens originally was a home of a newspaper publisher in Los Angeles, and he built this estate with lush gardens. He also had a camellia farm on this spot as well. But then in the 1950s, it was donated to the county of Los Angeles, and since has been run by a local nonprofit organization that does a bang-up and fantastic job maintaining the gardens, but also coming up with innovative ways to share nature to the public. Each Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. here in La Cañada, I meet a group called Thoughtful Walking. And it's very simple. All I do is meet the group out inside just in front of the entrance, about 5 to 10 minutes to 10. I hand them a slip of paper with a reflection question or a reflection thought, a quote, a poem, whatever I find that week. They then walk around the garden for 40 minutes. Then we meet at the outdoor cafe area inside the garden and share any insights people have found during their walk. Normally I have about 10 to 12, sometimes 15 walkers. And it's been a ministry I started in the fall of 2014. And they've been meeting weekly ever since, unless it's raining, of course. When I was here with my camera on a typical Tuesday, I asked my walkers if some of them would like to share the reason why they come back each week for the Thoughtful Walking experience. Here is what some of them said.
It's a wonderful time to step back from an active life, and it's a time in the week where you have mindful thoughts. It's a time of repose in a beautiful setting, followed by thoughtful discussion with kindred spirits.
I come back every week because of the beautiful gardens, and they change. It's like that proverb where it says you can't step in the same river each time, and the gardens change each week. And there's such wonderful friends that I've made coming to this walk every week.
I really enjoy the time to get away. Probably that's what lots of people would say. But I also like to think about not just the one question of the week, but the other questions that clicks right with me. The fact that I indeed remember something that I would not have remembered if I hadn't been here.
I come back because I want the intellectual stimulation, and the people are nice and accepting, and I begin to feel like part of this community.
I come back every week because each time I learn something more about myself, and of course the nature, that's without saying. But I find it sort of grounds me for the week, gets me ready to be centered, yeah.
I start to come back for the nature. That's what motivates me to come here, get out of bed and get here on time, kind of on time. And just the peace and beauty of nature. And then, of course, the reflection question of the day takes me someplace much deeper and different than I thought I would get.
So what I thought I would do is share a typical thoughtful walking experience as best I can here using a camera. So you will get the same question I handed to my people on a Tuesday. I will take you out in the grounds, and the camera will be me, of course, walking through the garden. When I walk, I like to have music playing, so I plug in my Nano with some great music, and then I think about the question. So I'm going to take you on that experience. I hope you've enjoyed the experience of walking through the gardens, and I wonder if you've come up with any thoughts from the quote by T.S. Eliot we used that week. I'd also like to share with you right now some of the insights our walkers came up with that very same question.
The question for today, going back and seeing something for the first time, I shared that I had seen a movie which was of comedy about infidelity in a marriage, and it was supposed to be hysterical. Well, I was just going through that with my marriage, and I had to get up and walk out. I couldn't see it. But about 10 years later, as we were saying, a different me came back. And I saw that movie, and I could laugh, and I could see the humor in it, where at the time I was going through it, I couldn't. So it always pays to go back and look at something again for the first time and learn something from it, or see how much you've grown.
You know, seeing something again and then seeing it, thinking you're seeing it for the first time, reminded me of childhood and seeing things as a child and then seeing them as an adult. Sometimes what you see it better, and then sometimes you see it worse. And it is something we do through life, I think.
I was looking at the beauty of the garden and the flowers and how we always just look at them and see how beautiful they are. But this one was on the ground, so I picked it up. And I was amazed at how it's so beautiful, but there's only 6 petals. And I always thought that there were so many petals in a camellia because it was so beautiful, but the simplicity of it. And I think that's looking and looking again at life and the simple things and the beauty of life too.
As a little girl, we went to Canada a lot, and we would go out on the lake, and we would see the Aurora Borealis, which is absolutely gorgeous. And of course, this would be at night. And anytime I see it again, it's like seeing it for the first time, because it's always different.
So today's reflection was kind of about the nature of time. It was the T.S. Eliot quote about returning to the beginning, and for me that brought up the way in which our lives are sort of circular. We revisit a lot of the same topics and issues of our life, and yet every time we revisit them, we're changed, we're different than we were the last time we revisited them. And so there's a growing wisdom and peace there. So that was really helpful to me.
I hope you enjoyed that Deacon on YouTube this month with our thoughtful walking experience. If you're local and would like to join us, see you here at 10 a.m. every Tuesday, unless it's raining, of course. That's all I have for you. So until next month, God bless, be well, and enjoy an insightful, meaningful Lent.